Well, the Patriots are yet again Super Bowl champions. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chew on Sports. As always, I am Zachary Van Meter. Going to be flying solo this evening, but I promise more goodness from Chris and I will come. I think we had a great time with one another. Chemistry seemed to be flowing a bit like the salmon of Capistrano. Got a few things that I want to talk about tonight, but first, before we get into it, once again, this is Zachary. Thank you for tuning in to Chew on Sports. Please, if you can, it means a lot to the show and what I'm trying to grow this into. If you take the moment, if you're an iTunes listener, please give me a 5-star review. Go give us 5 stars. Write a review. Something short, something sweet, something long. It's all gravy. It would just mean the world to me if you could take the time to do that out of your day. And if not, hey, that's cool too. Just thanks for listening and tuning in. The goal is to grow this pod and keep doing this thing. So hopefully you guys like what's going on. As always, you can follow me on the interweb. Chew on Sports is my Twitter handle. It's not spelt cutely. It's spelt just like it sounds. TechmoZach, like the video game Tecmo Bowl, is my Instagram, and Zachary Van Meter, which is my name, is my Facebook. You can find me on any of those avenues. So as always, thank you for tuning in, and I've got a little info that I want to give everybody on this lovely evening. So first off, the Patriots are the Super Bowl champions. They did it. Number 6 for Tom Brady. He now has as many Super Bowls as the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has one more Super Bowl than the Dallas Cowboys. Holy potatoes. Hate him all you want. Hate the Patriots all you want, but darn, man. Home dude is freaking good. But just being super freaking good, which Tom Brady is. There's a lot of hate last night about the Super Bowl and what it is, what it isn't. Was a low-scoring game, only one touchdown. I don't mind it. Myself personally, a good defensive game is a fun thing to watch. And watching two teams that were just so well prepared for one another was just something special. And it's kind of funny because I always watch the Patriot games. Obviously, they play a lot on national TV, and I have Red Zone, and I'm always like, man, this dink and dunk, like, why aren't these teams stopping it? How can you, that you know what they're going to do, you know they're going to do it, and they just continue to romp people. And it was just real fun to me to watch it get kind of shut down, with the exception of Julian Edelman and his MVP performance. And same thing with play action, lots of Rams games nationally televised. Watching it, I was just like, God, every game. And of course, Gurley helps, but it's just like, wow. You'd think that people would understand what they're rolling, and the Patriots are ready for it. It was exciting for me to watch a good defensive slugfest. Speaking of defensive slugfest, one could make the argument, and actually Calais Campbell tweeted it out, so I'm actually going to share his tweet. Calais Campbell actually tweeted and said, the offense only scores 13 points, and they gave up only 3. Gilmore had a forced fumble, an interception, 3 pass breakups, and 5 tackles. Shaking my head, no respect for the masterpiece on defense. And you know what, man? I don't disagree with that. I personally had pegged, if you listened to the podcast last week, I thought that Michelle had a very awesome chance at being MVP, just the way I felt the game plan might go. And hey, he had 90-something yards and a touchdown, the lone touchdown. But one could definitely make... Now, don't get me wrong, Edelman had 10 catches at 141 yards. I'm not mad that he got MVP, but one could make the argument that Gilmore abso-freaking-lutely could have been MVP as well. So that's my thoughts on the Super Bowl. I've got a feeling in my gut that we just saw the end of it. I know they're saying it's not... I know they're all saying they're going to come back and this is going to happen and this is going to happen, but I have a just sneaky suspicion that they're going to take the time off, be with their families, and it's done. I'm thinking that's the case. So that's it for the NFL. We're going to talk about Dallas Cowboys to close out the podcast, but that's it as far as the Super Bowl goes. And we're going to get some Dallas Cowboys offseason. Up next, the New York Knicks, that are now Dallas Mavericks, had their press conference today, with Porzingis being obviously the big name, wanting to know what was going down, and it was oh so glorious. I want to say that the the press conference ran at about 32 total minutes. And the cool thing for me about this press conference, not only the fact that I watched it, obviously, but the cool thing for me was just listening to what they had to say. And I feel awesome about this trade, number one. And number two, there were some good questions, and I kind of took some excerpts off of Twitter about some of the things that I saw. And one question was, if Porzingis plans to sign a long-term contract with the Dallas Mavericks. And he kind of was silent for a second, and before he could respond, Mark Cuban butt in and goes, "I can answer that for you. The answer is yes." So the same news member then asked Porzingis, "Is that the case?" And Kristoff says, "Yes, we're on the same page." So that frickin' pumps me up. Mark Cuban added that our goal is to keep this duo together, playing together for the next 20 years, which is awesome. The other guys didn't have much to say. This was clearly centered around Porzingis. Mark Cuban did say that he fully expects this to be the farewell tour of Dirk. So if you are listening to this podcast and you are a Dirk fan, go to a game. There's only like 15 home games left, I think. Go and see him and send this man off. He deserves it. More than likely, he'll have a position with the Dallas Mavericks front office when it's over, said, and done with. But we might be seeing the end of, or we are seeing the end of it all. So the numbers the players will wear: Tim Hardaway Jr. will be number 11, Mavericks fans. Courtney Lee will be number 1. Trey Burke, 23, and Porzingis, the unicorn, will be number 6. So watch out. We should see 3 of the 4. Porzingis not yet cleared to play. I don't think he's going to play this year at all. But these 3 gentlemen should be playing Wednesday night at the home game when Charlotte comes to town. So I will be tuning in and ready to rock and roll and watch that game. That's going to be exciting. There's also now pictures of Porzingis in a Mavericks uniform. It looks oh so glorious, as well as some footage of him in their shoot-around practice this morning. So check all that stuff out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere that you can find it. Now, also in breaking news today, Anthony Davis, the trade talks are heating up big time. First off, Home Dude has now released a list of 4 teams that he's now willing to sign with. He would sign long-term with the Knicks, who I think now they got rid of Porzingis. Apparently they already offered Porzingis for Anthony Davis, but they said no. So apparently the Knicks would have to get the first pick, and that would be the only way that would happen. But nevertheless, the Knicks are on his list. The LA Clippers are on his list. The Milwaukee Bucks are on his list, and the LA Lakers. So after about 5 minutes of Waj dropping this knowledge on everyone, you have the Lakers offering it's the craziest trade I've seen. Obviously, there's other players who'll be involved from New Orleans in this deal, but they're offering Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson, Beasley, and 2 first-round frickin' picks for Anthony Davis. And they're willing to take bad contracts back as well. So, I don't know why this deal isn't done yet. Actually, I'm hoping it goes down tomorrow. I have to do jury duty tomorrow, so who knows how long I'm going to frickin' be at this place. So, reading NBA Twitter all day as trades go down would be super sweet. So, here's hoping for a super busy day mañana in the NBA. Gosh, what's crazy is it's been reported last week, and Lonzo's daddy, LeVar, went public today again saying that they want no part of being in New Orleans and that Phoenix is the destination. The exact tweet is, I've actually got it archived for you kind folk. The exact tweet is, LeVar Ball tells ESPN that if he is traded, he wants his son to go to Phoenix. We want him to be in LA, but if he's traded, I don't want Lonzo in New Orleans. Phoenix is the best fit for him, and I'm going to speak it into existence. So this was a report that came out earlier, and Phoenix is actually, from what I hear, very willing to be a part of this in a 3-team deal. So keep it locked. The trade deadline is Thursday. I will be doing a Thursday evening podcast about the NBA trade deadline and the trade deadline pretty much only. So keep it locked to see what's going to happen with that. I'm pretty. I don't see how this doesn't go down. Obviously, Boston can't trade for him right now unless they're willing to give up Kyrie Irving. So they would have to wait till the offseason. So I would imagine all these deals are only going to get better or could get better. So it's a very real thing that New Orleans just waits. But my gut really is saying something goes down. You get Mike Conley rumors. He's been connected to the Pistons now. He's connected to Utah. Marc Gasol's supposed to be moved. Just so many moving pieces. And I tell you what, with these buyouts that are about to happen, it's that time after the trade deadline. If the Lakers can pull off trading their whole team for Anthony Davis, adding 1 or 2 or 3 vets to their squad, it's going to be interesting to see what they can kind of push out and then piece together next season. So NBA, man, it is, once Super Bowl hits, the NBA, it's All-Star break, it's trade deadline, it's playoffs, it's must freaking see TV. So follow your favorite team and just be jacked right now. It is a great time in the NBA. That trade is, I still can't believe it. That is, the New Orleans Pelicans would be just walking away with a king's ransom. Very seldom do you lose a player that's that amazing, like Anthony Davis is. I mean, he's a human cheat code in fantasy basketball if you have him. Very seldom do you walk away with a player that's just that freaking phenomenal, and you get this much in return. Even if they can't get Lonzo, to get Ingram, Kuzma, and 2 firsts out of it, that's something special right there. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how all this works. In closing, we're going to go to the Dallas Cowboys and off-season work. Jon Kitna was doing a lot of talking today. For those of you who don't know, on my last podcast and in the real world, it's been announced that Jon Kitna is now the quarterback coach of the Dallas Cowboys, which means he'll be working a lot with Dak Prescott. And I was listening to the 105.3 The Fan, during my lunch today. And they were doing a lot of talking about how Kitna, whenever he was in Detroit with Mike Martz, about how, pardon my French, but anal Mike Martz was with his footwork. Kitna said before he was even throwing the football, it was just drill upon drill upon drill upon drill of footwork. And are you in the right spot? Is this where you need to be pocket presence-wise? Is this where you should be? Are you dropping back right? And it was very refreshing for me because I think that, I'm obviously a Dak fan for the long haul. I've had a podcast speaking about it. But what's interesting to me is that I think that that's Dak's weakest point. I think he's accurate when you need him to be, and he's clutch for sure. But the way he works and his work ethic and his just team guy and just a company man, I could see him just spending hours upon hours upon hours upon hours working on this. And Mike Martz has worked with some really good quarterbacks, and I trust that man a lot as an OC and about timing of offenses and everything else. So we're going to have Amari Cooper with a full offseason to learn everything and get even better and build more chemistry with Dak. Gallup entering season 2. I cannot wait to see the evolution of the Dallas Cowboys. You get Garrett coaching for his job, new OC, quarterback coach, teaching all the intangibles that's just going to keep fueling Dak and making it better. That offense just grooming, getting another year. Can you imagine Jalen Smith next year and Van Der Esch? Oh, it's exciting, people. I cannot wait to see what the Dallas Cowboys have in sight. If you're a hater, it's okay. You can quit now. Because I know that you still exist out there, and it's time to jump on it. There's a lot to be excited about. So that is my podcast for the evening. If you're looking for something cool to play, might I suggest picking up the Resident Evil 2 remake. It is bad to the bone and scary AF, as the children would say. I played it Saturday night by myself, and I had to turn it off. I was like Joey from Friends. I wanted to put the case for it in the freezer so I wouldn't be terrified of it. But it's very good. It lives up to its billing. It's not a super long game, so I would if you got some free time, play it. It's gorgeous. It's scary. It's cool. Resident Evil is awesome. So that is Chew on Sports for this episode on a Monday night. Hopefully you liked what you heard tuning in. Please Feel free to leave me your feedback. Remember, go to iTunes, write a review, give a 5-star review. Let's grow this pod together. You have a good one.